Hello everyone, Squid a Baconator here. Time for the second review of my MLP reviewing marathon, and oh boy, do we got a bad one. And for those who don't know, Dragon Quest is my least favorite episode of the whole show. For many reasons that I will get to. I mean, this show has never angered me or disappointed me like for this episode, as much as this episode. And I've got a lot more to say on this episode than my last review, so I'll be talking quite fast right now, like I am now. And as always, I will leave a link to my script in the description so you can read along and understand what I'm saying. Now, let's get started. Okay, if there's anything I can give this episode credit for, and the only thing I can, it would be it has a great premise. Spike traveling by himself to learn more about other dragons and slowly grow as a person. Dragon. Thing. Whatever. I love this premise. I really do. Dragons barely get any attention in this show, and they really deserve something more than this. I mean, However, despite having a good premise, pretty much the execution of everything is what really sinks everything down. Every little fucking thing is forced. From the plot, to the characters, to the development, to every situation in here, to the humor, to the moral. It's all forced. Oh, God. Ugh. Now, I'm gonna get into sensitive territory right now. So, my biggest reason for disliking this episode, which is a culmination of a couple things throughout it. I think this episode is racist. I really do. Actually, the show, in general, kind of has sort of this racist mentality towards dragons in general. Now, before anyone flips shit over anything, hoping that no one does, please listen to me. It's like, you're probably saying, hey, where's your evidence? Well, I'd like to look at a couple parts from this episode and one moment from Season 5 that help support my opinion. First, the scene at the beginning where all the ponies are pretty much bullying Spike. Yes, I'm calling it bullying. It's not picking on a friend like most friends do. It's bullying. Pretty much shitting on Spike for not acting a little feminine, not acting like other dragons. And this whole scene was really aggravating. Especially when it got to the comments where Spike says, I don't act like other dragons. Then the ponies say, of course not. Why would you want to? Oh, God. I was incredibly dumbfounded when this scene first came on, and why the hell was it included? How the hell did it even not get censored? For a TVY show, of all things. Did Meriwether Williams not think of the fucking implications over this whole damn scene? I mean, this can really easily be implied in other situations that others have mentioned before me, like, you don't act like other boys, why the hell would you want to? You don't act like other black people, why the hell would you want to? You don't act like other Jews, why would you want to? This and pretty much every fucking pony is a complete asshole in this scene. It's just terrible. Our main characters, everyone, they treat others who don't act like their own race like complete shit. Isn't that great? I mean, also, this show, in general, sort of has this whole white supremacy type of feeling. Ponies really get this perfect equestrian portrayal compared to other creatures. And most others who aren't get treated terribly and very poorly. And also there's the fact when Twilight pretty much can't find a single book on dragons, yet they know everything about their migration patterns. Yep, there's a plot hole in there, and also more unlikable character whatnot. Damn it. Alright, the next bit of racism comes from the portrayal of the teenage dragons in this episode. These guys are probably my least favorite villains of the entire show, mainly because they're just your one-note teenage bully stereotypes for any motivation or anything for their actions. And yeah, we like destroying things because we're dragons. All we do like is fight, eat, kill. Baby, yeah, fuck. I can't talk right now. All this because we're dragons. What the fuck? This is pretty much what the episode is teaching us. And these are not the characters that really should be used in teaching morals at all. This feels like a terrible 90s drug PSA, except with racism. Don't know why. Not to mention that all the ponies in here pretty much assume that all dragons are terrible and they act like this. I mean, if none of this is racism, then I don't know what the fuck is. Honestly, one thing about this show that I really hate, that I just mentioned a little bit ago, is the portrayal of non-pony creatures. I'm not saying the ponies are perfect, but when you compare them to the other races, they look like it. I mean, whereas these dragons, griffins, yaks, the writers haven't given us anything positive to like about those creatures. I mean, how are we supposed to want more from these other races when these writers don't give us any reasons to like them? Also, why does Spike really stay with these girls? I mean, he rarely gets any fair treatment. He's constantly pretty much getting the end of slapstick and pretty much getting tons of pain, and he's usually treated pretty shitty. I mean, it's terrible. The show really has no idea if Spike is a main or secondary character, and honestly, I think he really deserves better than this. Okay, then there is also a little moment I like to pick out from the Season 5 finale, which also sort of comes into the racism argument, which is from season finale, of course. The moment that I'm referring to is in the one timeline with Nightmare Moon is the one who is taken over, and Rarity is saying to Spike pretty much, "You're a dragon, who cares about what you have to say?" Something like that. I know this isn't the same as the Equestria that we know, but is it really that far-fetched to have no pony who thinks like that? I find that hard to believe. Mainly my big reason for this episode is just these racism implications. And all the terrible things that come out from under that, like the main characters, and just ruining a great premise, and these terrible villains, antagonists, dragons, ugh. I hope we never see these guys again. Okay, now we get to the moral. And I can at least understand where Meriwether Williams was trying to go for in this episode. What you are isn't who you are. By itself, that's a good moral. I understand that. The problem is the execution. Due to the fact that both sides to this episode, the dragons and ponies, are pretty much terrible the whole way through, this leaves the moral in complete shambles, and I just don't know how anyone can defend how this moral was executed. I don't understand why anybody could do that. And lastly, there are some of the little things that I'd like to mention that bug me throughout the episode, like Rarity's flanderization. And since she's one of the main, 3 ponies to get the most screen time, it gets pretty annoying really quickly, and the humor surrounding it is not funny at all. And when Spike is with all the dragons, instantly saying, "Hey, I want to stay here," and not giving it any thought, really is out of character for him. I mean, remember Spike at Your Service, where he really had a hard time trying to tell Twilight that he was going to work for Applejack to repay the debt type of thing? Yeah, where the fuck is that, Spike? I can't believe I'm deciding Spike at Your Service is a better episode than this. God damn it. Oh, and look, they're both written by Meriwether Williams. Charming. In the end, I can't understand why people think this isn't the worst Meriwether Williams episode. I mean, Spike at Your Service? Yeah, it's bad, but honestly, I can't get myself to hate it. And it at least has a few jokes that actually work, and is okay at a couple parts of the episode. Mysterious Mare-de-Well? Okay, that episode has got to be the most overhated episode of the whole show and doesn't deserve 80% of the criticism that gets thrown its way. This episode, definite worst Meriwether Williams episode, worst episode of the show. Terrible characters, forced development, terribly executed moral, and horrible racist implications make it all my least favorite episode of the whole show, and I gotta end right now because the video will cut off. Squid a Baconator signing out.